She shows interest before she says a word. Learn the 5 body signs men miss and stop guessing. In plain sight. Right now, many men are doing the opposite of what works. You notice a spark, then you rush in. You talk too much. You lean too close. You joke to fill silence. You fire 3 questions in a row and the energy drops. She goes quiet and you panic, so you chase the moment that was already there. The truth is simple. Attraction is a nervous system response. Her body leaks it first. What does it look like in real life? Eyes that drop and return, a breath that catches, a voice that turns soft, a stillness that replaces small talk, a hand that finds her neck, wrist or collarbone. None of this is random. These are invitations. They require calm, not pressure, presence, not performance. You do not need to force anything. Give her room to step in, breathe out, count to 3. Smile with your eyes, not your mouth. Let the silence work for you. Keep your shoulders down. We will keep this practical. You will learn 5 signals, how to spot them fast, how to stand and sit so you look relaxed, and how to match your distance and tone so she feels safe and turned on at the same time. Stay respectful and steady, just presence and consent. If you want simple steps that work in real life, stay with me. Let's get into it. Sign 1. The downward glance. You will see it before you hear anything. Her eyes meet yours for a beat, then drop, then return. It is fast, almost shy, and if you are nervous, you will miss it. The downward glance is the body's way of saying, "I feel you," without broadcasting it to the room. It is not a trick. It is a nervous system reflex that shows interest while keeping safety. It is subtle, but it is reliable if you know what to pair it with consistently today. Think simple biology. When she likes what she sees, pupils may widen, breath lightens, and for a second she exits the social script. The eyes dip to release tension and to reset. Some men call this submission. Forget that label. It is not about power. It is about comfort with your presence. The glance down is followed by a small return look. That loop is what matters. Down, back, and often a half smile. When you see that sequence, hold your frame. Here is how it plays in real life. Michael, 49, divorced, meets Jenna, 38, at a coffee shop in Denver. He orders, steps aside, and she steps up. He makes a simple joke about the line. She laughs, lifts her eyes to his, then glances down to his collar and the counter and looks back. She tucks hair behind her ear and stands a little closer than the crowd requires. Michael does not pounce. He keeps his shoulders relaxed, turns slightly toward her, lets the silence run for 2 seconds, and says, "We should sit." Your response should always be calm, brief, and respectful. 3 moves work. Meet the eyes, pause, invite. Meeting the eyes does not mean staring. Think 3 seconds, breathe out, let your face soften. The pause lets tension build instead of collapse. The invite is light and specific. If she keeps returning your look and her body stays open, take the step. If she turns away or closes off, you let it go. Presence over pressure. Do not narrate the sign. Never say, "I saw you look down." Do not tease her for being shy. Do not push for a number in the first breath. Let the moment move itself. Stoic rule here is simple. You control choices, not outcomes. Hold your center, make a clean offer, and accept yes or no with the same face. Context matters too. In offices, gyms, or family spaces, slow everything down. You can still acknowledge the signal, but you respect environment and timing. Attraction that is real does not need you to rush. It needs you to read. If you are unsure, stack signals. Look for the return, look again within a minute. Notice a softer voice, a small lean, or self-touch at the neck or wrist. 1 cue can be noise. 3 cues create a pattern. When in doubt, let the interest come forward instead of dragging it. The downward glance is small, but it is often the first green light. see it, stay calm, and give it room. If this resonates, type a quick line to lock it in. I read signals. Stay with me. Next, we will unpack a sign most men misread as rejection, even though it often means the exact opposite. Sign 2. The pelvic lock. You notice it during small talk or across a table. She crosses one leg over the other, knees draw in, hips angle slightly away, ankles hook. The pelvis closes while the upper body stays engaged, eyes returning, shoulders open, maybe a slight smile. Most men misread this as rejection and either push harder or retreat completely. Don't. The pelvic lock is not no. It's containment. It's her nervous system managing rising tension while staying in the moment. Think biology, not drama. When attraction ramps up, the body protects core areas and slows stimulation so the mind can catch up. Hips turn, knees close, hands land near the lap. At the same time, you'll often see opposite signals up top. Head tilt, softer voice, longer looks. The mix means attraction plus caution. She's testing whether your presence is safe enough to relax the lock. Your job is simple. Reduce pressure without killing polarity. Angle your body a few degrees instead of squaring up. Give her hips space. Stand shoulder to shoulder or 45 degrees, not straight on. Lower your voice a notch, slow your tempo, and cut filler talk. Hold comfortable eye contact, then let it break naturally. This communicates steadiness without pursuit. Never narrate her posture. Don't joke about legs, dresses, or being shy. Don't reach in to reassure. Touch is invitation only. The Stoic rule applies. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Clean words, clean intent, clean timing. Use environment to help. At a bar, pivot so you both face the room. The space in front of her hips opens automatically. Seated, slide your chair half a step back and turn slightly so the conversation runs across the table corner, not straight down the center line. Standing, give a foot more distance than you think you need and let silence do some of the lifting. Pressure down, presence up. Stack signals before you escalate. A locked pelvis paired with a warm face, a return glance, and a breathy voice often means she's interested but regulating. If the lock gradually loosens, knees uncross, hips re-square, foot points toward you, that's your green light to invite movement. Let's grab that corner table, or walk with me to the patio. If the lock hardens and upper body warmth disappears, respect it and taper out. Polarity thrives on clarity. If she mirrors your angle, lets the foot dangle, or plays with her necklace while keeping eye contact, tension is building and your patience is working. Stay there. Remember, containment is not a power play, it's pacing. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind. Prove it. Don't chase comfort by cracking jokes or oversharing. Don't flee and make it awkward. Stay calm, breathe low, and let her choose when to open. When a man can stand still with desire in the room shifts. The pelvic lock is the body's brake pedal, not a closed door. Read it, respect it, and make space for it to change. If she feels your steadiness, it often will. If this clicked, claim it below with 3 words. I hold frame. Stay close. The next sign hides in her voice, and once you hear it, you'll stop missing half the invitations you've been talking over. Sign 3. Voice tilt. You will hear it before you see anything. Her voice softens, the pace slows, and the air between words stretches just a little. Sometimes the pitch drops half a step. Sometimes it rises at the end of sentences like a question that invites you in. Either way, the sound gets warmer and the breathing sits higher in the chest. That shift is the body talking. It is attraction regulating itself, not a script she plans. Most men miss it because they rush to fill space. They tell another story, stack 3 questions, or switch topics right when the music starts. Do the opposite. When you hear the tilt, Lower your own voice a notch and shorten your sentences. Let the silence carry weight. You are not performing. You are holding a room where tension can grow without pressure. Make it real. Daniel is 53, a contractor in Tampa. Brooke is 42, a senior buyer who moves fast all day. They meet at a friend's backyard cookout. Conversation starts casual. Then Brooke's laugh softens and her words slow. She leans a touch closer and her last syllables hang. Daniel feels the pull. He does not crowd her or turn it into a bit. He matches her tempo, lets 2 seconds breathe, and says, "Sit by the steps with me." No hard sell, just a calm invitation that respects the signal. What else should you notice? Hums and half-laughs that end on a breath. A gentle drop on key words, fewer filler phrases. The mouth stays slightly parted between sentences. There is often a small exhale after she finishes a thought. Do not label any one thing as proof. Stack a few cues and read the pattern. There are also moments when her voice gets higher and quicker. That does not always mean nerves or disinterest. It can be energy peaking. If the eyes return and the shoulders stay open, hold steady. Slow yourself so she can meet you there. If her answers turn clipped and the gaze drifts past you, ease out politely. Presence over pursuit. Keep it respectful. Do not lean into her ear unless the setting is loud and she invites it. Do not narrate what you hear. Never say you sound different. The Stoic filter helps here. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Your job is to notice, regulate yourself, and make one clean move. Practice when nothing is at stake. Lower your own pace when a cashier or colleague slows theirs. Train your nervous system to tolerate quiet. Most men talk because silence makes them anxious. When you can sit in it, you become magnetic without trying. Voice tilt is the body's way of saying, keep going, but do not rush. Match it, respect it, and let the energy do the heavy lifting. When you invite movement, keep it simple. Change scenes by a few feet. The patio, a corner table, the coffee line. Movement tests interest gently and keeps tension alive without speeches. Lock it in with 3 words. I hear signals. Stay close. Next, we explore a quieter cue you have seen 1,000 times and never trusted, and it changes the way you move forever. Sign 4. Self-touch. You will spot it in quiet moments more than loud ones. She traces the rim of her glass, grazes the side of her neck, touches her collarbone, or rubs the inside of her wrist like she is checking a pulse. It is not random fidgeting. It is the body managing rising heat while keeping things socially smooth. When attraction climbs, the nervous system looks for a pressure valve. Self-touch is that valve. Think biology, not mystery. The autonomic system ramps up, breathing shifts higher, and blood flow changes, touching thinner skin areas like the neck, lips, or wrists cools and grounds. It is self-regulation, not a billboard. Most men either ignore it or comment on it and kill the moment. Do neither. Your advantage is subtle attention and steady pacing. If the touch repeats after your eye contact, you are not imagining it. The body is talking. Real life gives simple reads if you slow down. In a cafe, she plays with a necklace while listening, then lets her hand return to her collarbone when your eyes meet. At a dinner, she rolls her sleeve and rubs the forearm as the conversation turns personal. The theme is the same. Self-touch appears right when tension rises and vanishes when you rush. Your move is restraint with precision. Lower your voice 1 step, reduce words by half, and give her a beat to come forward. Angle your body instead of stepping closer. Hold eye contact for 3 seconds, breathe out slowly, and let the silence carry. Then make a light, specific invitation that changes the scene by a few feet. Sit here, walk with me to the window. Join me at the patio. Movement tests interest without pressure. Never narrate what you see. Do not joke about her lips, her neck, or her hands. Do not reach to mirror her touch. Consent first, always. Epictetus kept the rules simple. No man is free who is not master of himself. Master your urge to perform. When you hold your frame, she can relax hers, and the body will often answer by repeating the cue. Stack signals before you escalate. Self-touch, plus the downward glance and the voice tilt, is a strong pattern. Self-touch with closed shoulders and drifting eyes is not. Read the whole picture. If she keeps returning, invite lightly and then drop it if she does not take the lead. If she says no, you smile once, change the subject, and keep your posture loose. That calm exit preserves attraction more than any clever line. Practice this when nothing is on the line. Slow your breathing in normal conversations. Notice rings, necklaces, sleeves, glasses, and how hands move when people get interested. The goal is not to hunt for proof. It is to become the kind of man who does not miss the obvious and does not need to force it. Self-touch means tension is present and the body is managing it. Respect that rhythm, protect the space, and let interest come to you. Lock it in with 3 words you can type. I stay calm. Stay with me. Next, we look at a flip that fools men daily, when movement turns to stillness and desire gets quiet enough to hear. Sign 5. Fidget and quiet switch. You'll see this one in 2 phases. First comes the fidget. Her foot bounces, her ankle circles, her knee brushes yours under the table, fingers tap a glass, she smooths the edge of her skirt or jacket again and again. Then, almost suddenly, the chatter fades. That is the quiet switch. Fewer words, longer pauses. Eyes hold a beat and then return. It looks like she ran out of things to say, but what's really happening is simple. Her body is managing rising tension and her mind is catching up. Fidgeting by itself can be nerves or boredom. The quiet switch by itself can be fatigue. The tell is the sequence and the pairing. If she goes from lively movement to softer voice, steadier eye contact, and slower breathing, you are not imagining the shift. Her nervous system is downshifting while attraction climbs. That is your cue to stop entertaining and start holding the room. Make it real. Jason is 52, runs a small cabinet shop in Ohio. He meets Erica, 43, at a neighborhood wine bar. Early on, she talks fast, bounces one heel, and keeps adjusting a necklace as they trade stories. 10 minutes later, the pace changes. Her heel stops. Her sentences get shorter. She looks at his mouth and then back to his eyes. Jason does not fill the space with another joke. He leans back, breathes out, lets 2 seconds pass, and says, "Let's grab that corner table." Erica smiles, stands, and walks with him. He did not press. He noticed the sequence, matched her pace, and invited movement. Here is how to respond when you see it. First, slow your speech and drop your shoulders. Second, let silence last a beat longer than feels safe. Third, shift the scene by a few feet. Patio, window, corner booth, short walk to the bar. Movement tests interest without pressure. If she follows and keeps the softer tempo, you're reading it right. If she stalls, looks away, or tightens her posture, you ease off and keep things light. Do not narrate what she is doing. Do not joke about the foot bounce or the sudden quiet. Never reach to calm her. Touch is invitation only. Keep your hands to yourself and your frame steady. Presence is the message. When you can stay relaxed while the energy rises, tension works for you instead of against you. Calibrate with simple checks. If the quiet switch comes with warm eyes, a half smile, and that slight forward lean, you have green lights. If it comes with crossed arms, clipped answers, and eyes drifting over your shoulder, it is likely stress or disinterest. One cue can mislead you. A stack of 3 tells the truth. Remember the goal. You are not trying to squeeze a result out of a moment. You are giving the moment room to grow. Men lose this sign by talking over it. They also lose it by panicking and leaving the pocket. Stay in the pocket. Breathe low. Let her choose how close the next step gets. If this clicked, Type 4 words to lock it in. I read the room. Don't blink now. The next insight turns a whisper of interest into a clear path forward without a single heavy move. Sign 6. The breath catch. You won't always see it first, but you'll hear it. A quick inhale that stalls midway. A soft exhale after a sentence, like she just remembered to breathe. Words slow, the mouth stays slightly open. Eyes hold you for a beat, and then another small breath slips out. That's the breath catch. It's her nervous system flagging heat, while her mind stays socially smooth. Think biology, not mystery. When attraction spikes, the autonomic system shifts. Breathing moves higher in the chest, cadence changes, and the body hunts for rhythm. You'll notice tiny pauses right before she answers, a breathier tone on key words, or a light sigh after you finish your thought. None of this asks for commentary, it asks for steadiness. Your edge here is simple. Match, don't manufacture. Lower your own breathing into your belly. Shorten your sentences. Let 2 seconds of silence sit between exchanges. Hold eye contact for 3 counts, then let it break naturally. You're giving her system a safe pace to settle into. If you crowd the moment with jokes, explanations, or rapid-fire questions, the signal collapses under noise. Use a clean sequence. Notice the catch, slow your voice, anchor your posture, and offer a light scene change that moves you both a few feet. Let's grab that window seat. Walk with me to the patio. Movement tests interest gently and keeps tension alive without pressure or performance. If she follows and the breath stays soft, you read it right. If she tightens, clips her answers, or looks away, ease off and keep it friendly. Do not narrate what you hear. Never say, "You're out of breath," or "You sound different." Don't lean into her ear unless the room is loud and she invites it. Touch is invitation only. The Stoic filter keeps you clean. If it isn't right, don't do it. If it isn't true, don't say it. Your job is to regulate yourself, not her. Stack signals before you escalate. The breath catch plus a downward glance and a voice tilt is a strong pattern. The breath catch alone, paired with closed shoulders or scanning eyes, can be stress. Read the whole picture. Look for the soft return look, the stilling of fidgets, the subtle lean. 3 cues beat 1 every time. Environment matters. In quiet spaces, let the room carry the weight. Your restraint is the message. In loud bars, shorten lines and gesture lightly toward the new spot. Let her decide with her feet. Outside, use pace. Walk a touch slower than normal and see if she syncs her steps. Syncing is consent's quiet cousin, its interest choosing your rhythm. Train this when nothing is at stake. Notice breath in normal conversations, cashiers, co-workers, friends. Practice slowing yourself without getting heavy. Men talk when they're anxious. Grounded men breathe. Presence beats patter. Here's the truth you can keep. The breath catch isn't a promise. It's a window. When you stay calm inside that window, attraction grows on its own timeline. When you rush, the window shuts. Hold your frame, keep the pace humane, and let the air between you do some of the work. If this landed, type 3 words to lock it in. I slow down. Don't step away. The next insight sits where bodies start to mirror without trying, and once you feel it, you'll stop guessing and start guiding. Sign 7. Mirrored lean in. You felt it without naming it. You lean in a hair to make a point, and she leans in too. Same angle, same pace, same breath. A minute later you sit back, she follows. That's mirroring. When it shows up as a slight forward lean, timed with your movement, it's one of the cleanest signals of attraction you can get in the wild. Bodies sync before words agree. If you stay calm, the rhythm deepens. If you crowd, it collapses. Mirroring is a nervous system handshake. She's testing how your presence feels by matching it in micro steps. Not a big, obvious lunge, tiny shifts. Shoulder toward you, chest squared a touch more, chin tilts. then a forward lean that lands inside your space but not on top of it. Most men miss it because they keep talking or they overreact, closing the distance too fast. The rule is simple: lead inches, not feet. Let's ground this in real life. David, 55, owns a small roofing company in Phoenix. He meets Lauren, 41, at a charity mixer. Noise, high tables, nothing romantic. He turns 45 degrees to face her and leans in slightly to hear. She mirrors, same angle, same distance. He eases back to a relaxed upright, and she does too. Over 20 minutes, that shared rhythm repeats 3 times. David doesn't narrate it or chase it. He lets the sync build, then says, "Let's grab a quieter spot by the courtyard." She smiles and walks with him. Here's how to use this without looking thirsty. First, set a stable baseline. Feet planted, shoulders down, jaw loose. Second, move in micro steps. Shift your angle, lean an inch, pause. If she matches within a breath or two, keep talking in shorter lines and let the silence do work. If she doesn't, hold neutral and give her more space. Mirroring should feel like a dance, not a tug of war. Watch for upgrades. Mirroring the lean often arrives with other green lights: a soft voice, still hands, eyes that come back to you even when the room pulls. If the lean coincides with a foot pointing toward you or her hips re-squaring, you can offer a light transition. "Walk with me to the bar. Let's sit by the window." Movement keeps the polarity alive without pressure. Also read the breaks. If she freezes, pulls her chin back, or leans away while lips tighten, you're pushing. Back off. Your goal isn't to win inches, it's to build ease. Stoic rule applies here. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Let your restraint carry the message that you're in control of yourself, not the moment. Mirroring isn't mind control, it's comfort. It tells you her body feels safe tracking yours. That's why jokes, boasting, or fast hands ruin it. They spike anxiety and break the sync. Better move. Breathe low, slow the cadence, and give clear, specific invitations. If she accepts, great. If not, your composure is the attraction. Either way, you win. Practice when it doesn't matter. In everyday chats, test the inch lean and notice responses. You're training attention, not manipulation. The point is to stop missing obvious green lights and to stop forcing moments that need more air. Mirrored lean, in, is the body's way of saying, "I like your pace. Match it, don't rush it, and let the match do the heavy lifting." Lock it in with 3 words. I match energy. Don't blink. What comes next shows how a tiny pause can speak louder than any line and how to follow it without breaking the spell. Sign 8. The lip pause. You notice it mid-sentence. Her lips part, then hold for a beat before the next word arrives. Maybe she wets them once. Maybe she presses them together gently, then releases into a softer sound. Breathing sits high, her eyes linger, and the space between words stretches. That tiny pause is not random. It is a nervous system moment where attraction rises and the mind slows the scene so it feels safe. Think biology, not fantasy. When interest spikes, salivation, breath, and micro-muscles around the mouth change. A quick lick, a light press, or a soft exhale after a sentence are common regulators. It is the body finding rhythm, not a promise. Read it like weather. One cloud does not make a storm, but a pattern tells the truth. The lip pause shows up most when eye contact holds and the voice tilts warm. Your move is to match pace without becoming heavy. Lower your voice 1 step. Shorten your lines. Let 2 seconds of silence rest before you answer. Hold eye contact for a slow 3 count. Then let it break naturally. Give her body space to settle while keeping the tension alive. Pressure kills the cue. Presence nourishes it. If you rush to crack a joke or change topics, you break the spell her system is creating for you. Never narrate the sign. Do not mention her lips, do not tease, and do not reach to mirror. Touch is invitation only. Your hands stay to yourself until she clearly closes the gap. Use the Stoic filter as guardrails. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Clean words, clean timing, clean distance. That combination turns subtle signals into mutual comfort instead of awkwardness. Filter out false positives. Dry rooms, spicy food, cold air, or habit can cause the same motions. Stack cues instead of betting on one. The lip pause, plus the downward glance and a softer tempo, is meaningful. The lip pause with scanning eyes and clipped answers is noise. Look for the return look, the small lean, the stilling of fidgets. 3 quiet greens make a go. 1 green with 2 reds is a no. Shape the environment to help. In loud spaces, step a half pace to the side, angle shoulder to shoulder, and offer a short scene change. Let's grab that window seat. Walk with me to the patio. Movement tests interest gently. In quiet spaces, stay where you are and let the air do the work. Breathe low, relax your jaw, and keep your shoulders down. Epictetus would approve. Master yourself first, and the moment takes care of itself. Picture a simple sequence. Conversation turns personal. Her lips part and hold for a second, eyes steady, breath slips out. You match her rhythm and let silence land. Then you invite a tiny move. Sit here. Join me by the corner. If she stands and stays in the softer tempo, you read it right. If she stalls, looks away, or tightens, ease off with a smile and shift to something light. Your composure is the attraction, not the line. The lip pause is a whisper, not a trumpet. It tells you desire is in the room and asks if you can keep it safe. When you do, the moment grows on its own timeline. When you push, it disappears. Read, respect, and respond with restraint, and you will stop missing invitations that were already yours. Lock it in with 3 words you can type. I hold pace. Sign 9. The hair reveal. You notice it on a laugh, a pause, or the edge of a sentence. She draws her hair back to expose the side of her neck, tucks a strand behind her ear, lifts it off the collarbone, or gathers it up and lets it fall again. It looks like grooming. It is. But it is also a display. The body is saying, I'm open to being seen, while the mind keeps things socially smooth. In a crowded room, the message has to be subtle, so the signal shows up in flickers. Reveal, reset, reveal again. Think biology, not fantasy. Areas like the neck, ear, and collarbone are thin-skinned and sensitive. Exposure changes airflow and cooling, and it also sends a quiet, ventral display that humans read without training. When attraction rises, the nervous system balances heat with regulation. Hair becomes a curtain she can move to control both. When she repeatedly clears that curtain while engaging you, she's managing tension and inviting attention, light, respectful attention. Make it real. Evan is 55, a commercial electrician in Dallas. At a Saturday food truck event, he meets Taryn, 42, a project coordinator who's just come from a hot yoga class. They trade simple small talk. Twice, when Evan finishes a thought and the eye contact lands, Taryn sweeps her hair behind her ear, exposes her neck, and holds his gaze for a beat before letting it fall forward again. Evan doesn't crowd the space or blurt a joke. He slows his voice, turns 45 degrees so they face the same direction, lets 2 seconds breathe, and says, "Let's grab that shaded table." She smiles and walks with him. He read the reveal, kept his frame, and made a clean, light move. Here's how to respond without being awkward. First, never narrate the sign. Don't say, "You keep fixing your hair." Don't tease or reach to help. Touch is invitation only. Second, match pace. Lower your volume, shorten lines, and let silence do a little work. Third, invite a tiny scene change that tests interest without pressure. Window seat, corner booth, short walk. Movement keeps tension alive and gives her the option to step closer by choice. Filter out false positives. Heat, wind, habit, or elastic bands can mimic the move. Stack cues. The hair reveal plus the downward glance and a voice tilt is meaningful. The reveal paired with scanning eyes and crossed arms is noise. Watch feet and hips. If her foot points toward you or her hips re-square as she tucks, that's alignment. If she angles away and folds the arms after the tuck, back off and keep it light. Posture makes reading easier. If you stand square like a wall, she'll use hair as a shield. If you angle slightly and give her hips room, the reveal becomes comfortable. Keep your shoulders down and your jaw loose. Breathe low. You're signaling safety, not hunger. Men blow this sign by rushing to perform, complimenting too hard, or stepping into her space as the hair moves. Let the curtain move. You stay rooted. Context matters. Offices, gyms, or family spaces call for slower cadence. The right move can be as small as, "You look like you could use water walk with me." If she declines or the warmth fades, you smile once and return to neutral. Presence over pursuit. Remember the Stoic filter. If it isn't right, don't do it. If it isn't true, don't say it. Your job isn't to collect signals like trophies. It's to create a room where signals can become choices. When you hold your center, she can relax hers. Often, the hair reveals more than once when she feels that steadiness. The hair reveal is a whisper, not a billboard. Read it in pattern, respect the person, and let the tension breathe. That's how a small gesture turns into a real moment without a single heavy move. Type a quick line to lock it in. I see the tell. Don't go anywhere. The final sign is quieter than words and bolder than any compliment. The look that leaves, then returns. Sign 10. The return look. You catch it across a room or over a glass. She meets your eyes, breaks away, then comes back for a longer beat. Not a stare, not an accident. A leave and a return. The return matters. It says, "I noticed you, and I am checking if you can hold a moment without grabbing it." When men miss this, they either look down fast or lunge in with words. Both kill the spark. The return look asks for patience and presence. Think of it like a loop. First pass is curiosity. Second pass is assessment. Third pass is invitation. If you react with calm on pass 1, she will test again. If you stay rooted on pass 2, she will often add a second cue, like a soft mouth or a small lean. When pass 3 lands, you have permission to move the scene. 1 step, not 10. Use the 3-beat method. Spot, hold, release. Spot means you register the look without flinching. Hold means you meet it for a slow count of 2 or 3, shoulders down, jaw loose, breath low. Release means you let your eyes slide off for a second before returning, which tells her you are not needy and you will not crowd. That rhythm is magnetic because it gives choice. Choice is what makes attraction feel safe. Now, add distance. If you are far, angle your body toward her and keep talking with your friend. If the return look repeats, lift your glass in a tiny half toast and see if she answers. If she does, you can walk over with one simple line that anchors context. If you are close, use movement by inches. Turn to share the bar rail or suggest a quieter spot. Do not perform. Do not explain. Keep it clean and direct. Filter false positives. Some people scan rooms by habit. The tell is the return paired with warmth. Look for softer eyes, a small smile, stiller hands, or the pace shift you learned earlier. 3 greens beat 1 every time. If she returns the look yet tightens her mouth or angles away, treat it as noise and relax back into your conversation. Reading well includes choosing not to move. Stoic practice keeps you from forcing outcomes. Marcus said to accept what is shown and act within your control. You control posture, breath, tone, and invitation. You do not control response. When the look comes back and you invite, accept, yes and no with the same face. Men who can do that become easy to trust. Trust is what lets desire grow. Use environments wisely. In quiet rooms, the return look can be the whole conversation. In loud spaces, use a small gesture toward a window or patio and let her decide with her feet. Outside, match pace and see if she syncs her steps. If she does, speak in shorter lines and let silence do work. If she does not, you ease off and keep it friendly. Never narrate the loop. Do not say you were staring. Do not tease. Do not reach to touch. Touch is invitation only. The point is to offer a path, not pressure a result. Presence is the message. When you hold your frame, the loop tends to repeat until the move is obvious. The return look is attraction's simplest contract. She leaves, she returns, and she asks a silent question. Can you stay steady, give space, and make one clean choice? If you can, the room tilts in your favor without a single heavy word. Type 4 words to seal it. I see the look. Remember, consent lives in action and words. A return look invites a conversation, not contact. Let interest step toward you. Keep your breath low, your tone warm, and your exit clean. That discipline is attractive at any age, in any room, everywhere. What you learned today is simple and powerful. Attraction shows up in the body before it shows up in words. When you can read the downward glance, the pelvic lock, the voice tilt, the self-touch, the fidget and quiet switch, the breath catch, the mirrored lean in, the lip pause, the hair reveal, and the return look, you stop guessing and start leading with calm, no tricks, just presence, respect and timing. Use what you saw tonight the right way. Give space, let silence work for you. Move in inches, not leaps. Keep your frame. When you do, you make tension feel safe, which is where real connection lives. If this helped, make sure you subscribe so you do not miss the next video. New lessons are here to keep you grounded, confident, and clear in any room. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.